A single crack of glass against steel turned an overcast Glasgow morning into the loudest headline of the year. Princess Catherine's whiskey bottle shattered at precisely 11:58 a.m., delivering the ancient naval blessing that names a warship and, in one explosive second, signalling that Britain's future queen had stepped from convalescence into command. The cheers that followed echoed along the Clyde, but insiders swear it was the sharp, private gasp from rows of uniformed admirals that told the Real story. This christening wasn't just about HMS Glasgow, it was about the stealthy reshaping of the House of Windsor. Across Britain, news desks scrambled to decode King Charles III's sudden decision to elevate Catherine's title, a move that arrives amid recovering health, shifting polls, and a public appetite for proof that royalty can meet 21st-century challenges. Pollsters at Ipsos found total support for the crown hovering at 55% in April. The same survey showed 65% backing for Catherine personally, a gap Westminster strategists read as both warning and opportunity. Bridging that gap is now William's primary mission, and the Scottish double-header, his secret trip to Leith followed by Catherine's star turn on the slipway, revealed how the heir intends to do it: data-driven philanthropy, high-impact symbolism, and a calibrated public intimacy that feels as comfortable on social media as it does under a vaulted cathedral ceiling. 24 hours earlier, William arrived in Leith without motorcade or press rota. He slipped through a side door of a repurposed warehouse where the Leith United Coalition runs 5A-side football as therapy for men clawing back from homelessness and addiction. The prince joined the match, suit jacket tossed onto a plastic seat, sleeves rolled high, before sitting down with clipboards and coaches to dissect relapse figures. Since January, crime among participants had dropped 17%, and housing placements were up by nearly a quarter. William studied the spreadsheet, then asked for 6-month goals accurate to a single decimal, an unusual request in a royal setting and proof his foundation's new metric, social return on investment, is more than palace jargon. Before leaving he promised proper boots for every player and a second counsellor for night sessions, instructing aides to tie outcomes to funding, not fanfare. Back in Glasgow, Catherine rehearsed her swing to perfection. Her coat dress, a £1,850 silk wool Susanna piece, echoed Scotland's white-on-blue saltire. Her Philip Tracy hat, last seen at the 2024 Trooping the Colour, cast a sharp silhouette against battleship grey. After the bottle burst, she joined shipwrights who showed her the Type 26 torpedo launch bays and next-gen sonar arrays, explaining how HMS Glasgow will screen carrier groups from stealth submarines in the North Atlantic. Catherine listened, asked about apprenticeship pathways and later signed an approval for a Royal Foundation bursary that will fund STEM scholarships in shipbuilding towns from Barrow to Rosyth. Her signature, an elegant C inside a coronet, marked the first time a warship sponsor simultaneously underwrites workforce retraining, a pairing naval historians already call precedent-setting. The afternoon walkabout produced the viral spark. As the couple greeted dockyard families, a teenage voice yelled, "You're beautiful, Catherine." She paused, smiled, thanked him. Realizing he'd ignored the future king, the teen quickly added, "You too, William." Laughter erupted. William's retort, "You don't have to say that," landed with stand-up timing. Cameras captured Catherine's shoulders shaking with amusement. When the clip hit social platforms, it clocked 6 million views in 12 hours, boosting William's likability index among under-30s by 12 points according to overnight YouGov flash polling. Analysts noted how such spontaneity reinforces the Wales's brand, approachable royals willing to laugh at themselves even while executing state duties. Yet behind the humor unfolded a choreography of power. Only hours earlier, King Charles had initialed Clause 14 of the Sandringham Memorandum, authorizing an operational regency should medical scans next month show relapse. The clause, drafted with Privy Council counsel, appoints William Regent Designate and instructs the Princess, now Queen-in-Waiting, to co-chair the Privy Council upon activation. Confidential minutes indicate the King's decision followed Catherine's oncology clearance and William's Leith briefing, evidence that their combined performance met the threshold Elizabeth II once set, continuity anchored in duty, not title alone. Public reaction to Catherine's elevation skews positive yet cautious. Among 2,000 voters polled by Savanta, 62% agreed her promotion modernizes the monarchy, while 28% worry it undermines Camilla's sacrifice. Queen Camilla's role indeed shifts. She retains the style of queen consort but will gradually pivot to behind-the-scenes patronages, similar to the Duke of Edinburgh's final years. Palace aides hint Camilla will focus on literacy and domestic violence initiatives, areas she's championed quietly for decades, while reducing official tours. Behind closed doors, she is said to be philosophical, reminding staff that the late Queen herself placed service above profile. Camilla's biographer noted that public acceptance of her marriage, once unthinkable, took 15 years to cement. A measured retreat could preserve that hard-won respect. Some commentators float unverified scenarios, claims of household factions, of secret summits at Windsor, of courtiers lobbying to limit Camilla's public funding, but hard evidence remains scant. What is clear? Catherine's cancer resilience, early years agenda and visible warmth have made her the monarchy's most bankable asset since Diana. Her post-treatment schedule includes launching a national maternal mental health dashboard and visiting geothermal startups in Cornwall to highlight decarbonisation. Each engagement pairs feel-good optics with spreadsheet targets, reduce perinatal depression by 3 points in pilot regions, create 200 green apprenticeships over 12 months. William's roadmap interlocks. The Royal Foundation's Community Impact Programme will grow from 48 to 80 local hubs by 2027, each co-funded by corporate partners and required to publish audited outcomes. One pilot pairs naval cadet mentoring with high school retention in Fife, another links rugby clubs to PTSD therapy for veterans in Cardiff. The Prince's mantra, metrics beat myths, drives weekly briefings at Kensington Palace, where advisors review bar charts before choosing ribbon cuts. Last quarter the foundation spent £4.6 million and claims an SROI of 2.9:1, meaning nearly £3 of social benefit for every pound invested, a figure audited by Deloitte. Even so, the path ahead remains precarious. Republican sentiment nudges upwards in Australia, where a new referendum poll shows 52% leaning toward a republic should Charles remain sovereign by 2027. Caribbean nations watch London's every move. Belize postponed a Commonwealth tour until after Catherine's health updates, fearing a lukewarm reception. At home, an all-party parliamentary group prepares a bill proposing annual transparency reports for royal spending, reflecting voter demand for accountability. The Waleses, aware of these headwinds, emphasize measurable public value to preempt criticism. Behind palace walls, schedules hinge on Charles's next oncology review. If the King's markers rise, Clause 14 triggers, William assumes day-to-day authority, Catherine steps formally into Queen duties and Camilla's appearances taper further. If the scan shows remission, the operational regency remains dormant but symbolic, proof the crown can evolve without crisis. Either outcome positions the Waleses as de facto face of a monarchy that now wages its survival on demonstrable service. Future intrigue centres on Westminster Abbey, where technicians test 8K projectors for a potential coronation sequence blending live choir with augmented reality heraldry, contingency only, officials insist, but rehearsals quietly booked for late autumn. Meanwhile, archivists restore Elizabeth II's 1953 anointing canopy, replacing silk tassels in case tradition and technology must meet sooner than planners admit. Royal watchers notice increased courier traffic between the Royal Mint and Kensington Palace, mock-ups of a new coinage portrait perhaps, though the Mint declines comment. For now, Catherine's image, bottle raised mid-arc, William's amused grin just behind, dominates front pages. HMS Glasgow's engines thrum, Leith United's scoreboard lights, Clause 14's ink dries. The monarchy's gamble is clear. Transform affection into measurable relevance before skepticism outpaces nostalgia. Success could secure another generation of loyalty, failure could embolden Republican momentum from Sydney to Scarborough. Our next report will take you inside those Westminster Abbey night rehearsals, revealing how centuries-old coronation choreography is being rewritten for a hyper-connected world and why one line in the liturgy may change for the first time since Elizabeth I. If the twists keep you hooked, tap like, subscribe and ring the bell so you're first to know the moment royal tradition meets 22nd century reality.